Thank you very much. Good morning. My name is Rosa Roman, and my contribution is finding the right leaders and reaching out during a crisis. Uh, it is important to have a series of networks in place in order to contact them and be able to use the skill sets that each one in this group has in order to work towards the larger good. For example, I work at the University of Mayagüez in Puerto Rico. I am also a member of PRTSOL at the island level and at the chapter level in Western Puerto Rico. And I am also a member of Alta Delta Kappa at the Western level also. Now, having being part of all of these groups allowed me to come in contact with a group of people at the same time. For example, Ayla is one of the teachers who her school was in the news. It's the school that collapsed, and she wrote to me through WhatsApp, and she said that she needed to find a way to contact people in order to help her students and her community. But at the same time, I was receiving a message from one of the participants or the members of ADK, and this was Maria Amador, and she was saying that she had access to a group of people and that they wanted to help, but they did not know a contact. They did not have a reliable contact in order to help the students and people who needed help in the communities that were impacted negatively or harmed by the earthquakes. So I created the earthquake relief effort, and there I put together Ayla, the president of ADK, the president of PRTSOL, the president of the community where I live, and a president of a group in a church, and a president in a graduate student organization. Each one of these was in a position to contact additional people. Now, what did I see? That connecting with the right people helped to expedite what I really wanted to carry out. Now, as I sit back and I look at what characteristics did these people have? What did they share? And how could we communicate effectively? And how can these skill sets be taught in the classroom, specifically in the English classroom? So for example, all of them were leaders. They were in positions where they had access to a large amount of or group of people. 2, their sense of responsibility. They know about transparency and accountability, and they know that that is an important part of pulling resources together in a way that people will respond. Their disposition. They were positive, they were cheerful, they had their sunshine when they walk into the classroom. So I think that this was really important in order to take something else to the communities that were needing something. 4, their humbleness. They could stay true to the cause and not turn this into a political spectacle or take the focus away from being servers and helping others. 5, their sense of respect. They're mindful and of the different needs of those who we want to serve. For example, if it was material needs, medical, emotional, spiritual, professional, or even entertainment. All of these people that I contacted, they're hardworking. They were willing to go the extra mile to achieve the goal. What that means is that if we had to work early in the morning or late at night, they were there, they were present. 7, they were creative. They were willing to change gears if it was necessary. If something came up, they were really proactive about working with it in a way that could help to reach our goals. Again, they were adaptable. They were able to move from one forum to another and expand the possibilities of targeting different communities. For example, if we were working for one community and then they would say, we have to switch gears, we have to move to another community, they were okay about it. 9, each person I contacted had outreach. That means that they were able to contact resources outside of Puerto Rico, and that was really important to expand and receive response immediately. And 10, all of them were very grateful. They were grateful for the group that was formed, for being able to reach to the communities, to drive there and meet the people who were impacted. Now, how does all of these characteristics, I was thinking, how does this translate to what I do in the classroom? And it does translate very beautifully with the activity Think, Pair, and Share. In teaching, and it's a teaching and learning technique that is easy to use. It's so simple, and it foments the characteristics I want to develop in my students for them to become leaders. So, for example, it's either think or write. It can be either one. I truly prefer write because they can see what they're doing. It helps them prepare. So I ask them to write for 1 minute, probably 2, no more than that. And after I give them a prompt. After they have that opportunity to write and think and do it alone, then I pair them up with someone. And then they discuss what they wrote. And so then here they already had what would be the pre-writing or the opportunity to think quietly. And so they had something to say, and the discussion happens. So here I allow 2 minutes, one for each one. And I would say time's up, next, and then the other person would speak. So here we have one person listening and one person speaking without interrupting. Next, it's share with another pair. So we have the 2 pairs. And so then the first person is going to talk about what their partner said, not what they think. So here it forces them to listen carefully and be able to summarize and synthesize the ideas that need to get across. Then, so it goes again the other way. So each pair is going to talk. Now, once all 4, here it's about 4 minutes, 1 minute for each one. The first time the activities takes place, it's a little bit, it's they kind of try and they find it awkward, but the second time around, they get it really quickly. Now, from the 4 people that are meeting, that are at that table, I ask for the best idea, and that's the one that is going to be shared with the whole classroom. And it's amazing that sometimes the different tables share the same ideas. What happens here is those students who are really shy, they're not exposed because somebody else is talking about their ideas. And then when they hear their idea shared with the rest of the group, or probably a similar idea comes up in a different table, they find that they're really, really excited that their idea counts, and then it allows them to grow. Now, working in groups and collaborating foments the following. It allows for thinking. Everybody's thinking in the group, everybody is writing, everybody is listening, and they really have to pay attention. At the beginning of the semester, they have to go back and say, so what is your name? They write it down. They address the person by their name. They're speaking using the language. They're synthesizing information in order to relay that information in the correct way. Again, they have to work with time management because they only have 1 minute, and then they develop strategies of strategic planning. What is it that we're going to share with what part of which idea is the one we're going to share? Let's reach a consensus. They have to go ahead and vote in their group. And then it allows for sharing. A lot of students are afraid of sharing, about ridicule, about being laughed at, but it's a small, safe group. First when they pair up, and then when they're in the group of 4. So they open up to sharing. And then again, here I start seeing leaders coming up throughout the semester. I use Think, Pair, and Share with a lot of different prompts. I use a video, and we can show the video, and then they respond to it. A short reading. I use it with situations, with the news. They're a poem, and so they all respond in that way. Think, Pair, and Share is really, really, really simple. It allows for students to grow, to be confident of their learning and language skills in small groups. Once they feel confident because they're able to do it again and again in small groups, then they open up. My experience is even at the graduate level, students say, I hate group work. At the end of the semester, I provide them with the opportunity for reflective practice. That means that they have to write every time they have a think, pair, and share. Their reflections change throughout the semester. So after every think, pair, and share, we go back and we sit down and I ask students to write from 2 to 3 minutes. How was their experience in this activity? And then they reflect on what is it that they did, how they did it, and it kind of cements or condenses their learning experience. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Rosa. I mean, it's been a beautiful presentation. It's very touching to hear people from the island, I mean, talk about what you are
Please
going
don't
on.
forget to share and
Yes, of course.
donate. Take a few minutes and donate to help Puerto Rico. Thank you.